Alright, a lot of people want to become software engineers nowadays. And most of the time, the primary reason has to do either with the money, demand, or remote flexibility. And those are all valid reasons, but let's focus on the most important one, and that is the money. So if you have no experience, no degree, no knowledge, how fast and how much money can you make if you decide to join this field? And before you start making money, you need to get the skills. So let's discuss the fastest way that you can get them. First, you need to start simple. Research the market and look for two things. Something that is in demand and something that interests you. So for example, you want to make websites. So therefore you go into front end, and through your research, you discover that Angular is the best option. Next up, you need to find an online course, and I would really suggest you to get a paid one. And I'm not saying that you should spend $1,000 on ultimate, full pack, higher rated, ultra pro max course. Definitely not. But through my own experience, going on platforms like Udemy and paying like $10 or $20 per course usually gets you the best deal in terms of learning materials. Next, depending on your load and in general how much you want to work, it usually takes 3 to 6 months to get enough knowledge to consider yourself a junior developer. And at that point, you could really say that you know software engineering. Another great option to learn is to go to a bootcamp. And I do believe that this is the most effective way to start learning programming and to see the best results. However, this option does require more time, effort, and money. So just to be realistic, I would advise for the most people to go with an online course, just so that you have a seamless and an easy start. And if you are curious if going to university is a good option, it is definitely not. Unless you're 18 years old, you have no education, so maybe at that point you can consider. Otherwise, there are much quicker and more effective ways to get the necessary skill set. Alright, so what about earning money? So let's start with the most interesting one, and that would be startups and side hustles. Knowledge of software engineering does give you a lot of opportunities. You'll be able to quickly implement your ideas, create MVPs, and save a lot of money in the process because you don't have to hire a full-time developer. So for example, if you want to create an automated tool that will generate articles for the Medium platform using ChatGPT, you could easily start developing it and see if this kind of thing works and you can actually earn some money with it. If you want to create an app for a startup, for example, to track garbage for your local community, you could do so easily. I mean, do I really have to say it? The whole world is using information technologies nowadays. And knowing how they work opens up a lot of grounds for you to explore and discover unique ways to make money. But, this is very difficult, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Not only will you need to know programming at a pretty good level, but many other skills like sales, marketing, SEO, social media, and so on. You will need to work extra hard and fail many times before building something not only that works, but something that people actually need. But with all that said, how much can you actually earn? Well, this will depend on your talent, hard work, and luck. You could be making millions in just 2 years, or struggle to make $1 even after 5. Or you can manage to find a sweet spot. It is very hard to say with certainty, but one thing for sure, you definitely have a choice. Is it hard? Yes. Is it worth it? I believe so, especially if you already know programming well. But if you're coming into software engineering just to build an app that will bring you millions in revenue, well, this is a bad approach. Do not confuse programming with entrepreneurship. Alright, next we have freelance, and this is perhaps one of the best options to earn money quickly. With the use of platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, you'll be able to get your first check in no time. And I could also say it's possible to grow your income pretty quickly. And I'm saying this from my own experience and from experience of my friends and colleagues. The great thing about freelance is that there is a higher ceiling to how much you can actually earn. And depending on how much time and effort you're willing to put in, this will earn you different amounts of income. Some of my friends are making $1,000 working part-time, while others working full-time obviously are making $5,000 or even more. Just remember that aside from software engineering, you will need to learn how to package your services and sell them, as well as how to convince the clients that you are the best option to work with. The competition in freelance is pretty big, so you need to make sure that at the early stages you find ways to stand out. But freelance is not as good as I make it sound, and in fact I can tell you that it could potentially ruin your career. So if you're interested in learning about that, check out the video right here. Moving on, the second option would be for you to get a regular job. But nowadays it becomes ridiculously hard to get it, especially for junior developers. And for the most part, it's because of tools like ChatGPT. But getting a regular job is perhaps one of the best investments in your learning process that you can do if you find a good company. If you manage to find a place where you will be surrounded by people who are much smarter than you, your learning will start to accelerate like crazy. And this is something that a lot of freelancers are struggling with. their personal growth. In the right company, you will be able to become a senior developer in 4 or even 3 years nowadays. And as we all know, once you're a true senior developer, there will be nothing standing in your way. Alright, back to the question, what about the money? In short, it is pretty good at every level. You will be paid higher than most of the other jobs will pay you for the same amount of effort. The numbers here vary a lot, so I'll give you an approximation. As a junior developer, you can expect to earn about $2,000 a month. In a year or a year and a half, you will become a middle developer and start to earn $3,500. Wait another 2 years and now you are a senior developer, and now you could earn pretty much about, I would say, $5,000 and more. But remember that these numbers do vary a lot by country, so be sure to do your research. For example, the same position in the US could earn you about $7,000, but in Bulgaria, which is in Europe, you are expected to get about $3,000. Therefore, research, analyze the market, and more often than not, you will find pretty good options. And here then, I want to give you some of my personal advice. I really don't like freelance, so therefore, I'm not going to talk about it and I'm not going to recommend it. A lot of people associate it with flexibility. Well, I associate it with stress and lack of stability. But here's what I will say. If you feel like you want to try out software engineering, give it a go. It's not going to hurt you if you're going to spend 2 months learning it and then decide that you don't like it. But if you will like it, this is a land full of opportunities, a lot of demand, and great salaries. Yes, some of you will say that AI is coming, it will replace jobs, but no, we are not at that point yet, so don't worry. Therefore, I would suggest you to go with a regular job and then in your free time work on your pet projects or startups, so that one day you could exit the rat race and dedicate all of your time towards something that you find meaningful. And there you have it. Software engineering is an interesting field with a lot of opportunities. It's not for everyone, but it's worth a try if you're not certain on what you want to do. You have an option to live a stable life with a good salary, and if you want to embark on an exciting journey towards building something bigger. Have a good day and see ya!